Oh, that's so weird. Why does that do that? Oh, there we go. Alright, I think everything's set.
Alright.
Yay.
My love.
Don't
not-
seem
yeah.
like it.
Not low.
Is it?
You just went super crazy though.
Yeah, I was about to say, was that my internet? Because I
No,
saw
that was
Keith
Keith.
and Game.
Nah, Keith did the same thing on mine too.
I'll
But
say
he's
your
back now.
video went fuzzy on me, Gaines, when that happened.
I don't know then.
I controlled none of that. All you have to do to fix that, get Google Fiber. It started, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, it started. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I had everything set up now. It took a second.
Alright.
Lead us, Keith.
All right.
Lead us.
Sounds so sick.
And 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Almost in full color panel is back with our first pod of the new year. Hopefully, this finds everyone in good health. Sorry if I sound terrible. I am a little under the weather, but we're going to power through.
Not fine, Keith.
And we're going to get to these topics.
Yeah,
But, gentlemen, how are we doing today?
I'm doing amazing.
we have our
All
first,
right.
we have our first chat of the day. Shipping Lord decided to say hello.
Hello, Shipping Lord.
Well, for those new to the channel, I'm joined by my co-host,
You're John.
Gaines. I don't know what's going on. Terry and Roger. And today we got a few topics in the gaming world. A lot has changed since our last podcast. And one story that we were supposed to talk about last year, but I thought was good to kind of start this year off with, was World of Warcraft had a little bit of a hit in player count. Some of the top Twitch streamers of it decided they were tired of Warcraft and they went over to Final Fantasy 14. And when this happened, the Final Fantasy 14 creator said that although he enjoyed the influx, he does feel like people do need to take breaks from games, and that maybe the Final Fantasy 14 people should take a break or go play World of Warcraft or go do something else so they don't suffer from burnout. So firstly, are you shocked that with that platform, you got to pay a monthly subscription, that the creator would tell like his player base, like, hey, like, although I enjoy y'all should probably step away to go do other things? Or does it sound like something that's good and kind on his behalf?
I mean, it could be. I mean, he might be, obviously from his standpoint, maybe he feels like, people should not get too intertwined with the game or too lost in the game to where they're spending like every waking moment of free time they have, involved in that game. Or it also could be because they've had ongoing struggles of basically being able to get everyone in the game. Like, they haven't been able to. I guess they did increase the servers now because they just opened the game back up to where you can actually like buy it again if you wanted to play, which is, I still believe that's probably a first that a game. I mean, you hear about betas being taken down and stuff like that, but you don't never hear about a game like being pulled from purchase because the player count is too high, or like that. Usually they just let it go to shit. They just like let the servers be horrible and take that money. But maybe it was just so bad they couldn't even run it or something. I don't know. But yeah, so it could be just kind of also like we don't want too many people because we're happy to sell it, but we're trying to keep up with demand. So maybe we can kind of curb demand some by getting some of our current players to maybe take a step back from the game every once in a while, which kind of opens up those windows for, newer players that's coming in, kind of like a, trading in and out thing on the server where there's not too many people there at once. But I mean, it is still an odd thing to say, for a person to say, stop playing my game, and especially to recommend another game unless he has something to do with World of Warcraft as well. That would be odd. That'd be like NBA 2K saying like, "Hey, take a break and go play some live, man." It's like, just what? Nobody would do that.
Their entire system is based off of instances, aren't they? It's not live. It's all instances.
I've never played it, so I don't know.
Well,
no,
what
I
do you
take it
mean?
back.
Like,
I
you
played
load
really early into it.
So like each dungeon is just an instance of essentially those people are inside that dungeon. There's no other way, right?
I would assume.
Yeah, like
that's
you're
probably
going
how
with
it
your
works.
party. Yeah, if you're partied up, you all can enter.
So
Probably just spawns up that, like you said, that instance of that dungeon for whoever's going in, like your party or your group.
the only reason I can think of them telling people just to chill out is because instances aren't amazing and they can fail without warning. So the more people that are inside of an instance, inside of a specific world, that world will essentially crash. That's the only thing I can think of for them wanting to have people not log in. That's why there are so many world caps.
So they're pretty much just still having trouble keeping up with the player demand.
It's possible, but I mean, like, I don't know how servers react to instances. I mean, most games are built off of that. That's why Destiny 2 has the instance for the tower. Unless
I would
you know
assume they would
somebody
just
else.
crash probably when you reach the maximum, like, I guess, memory or whatever that the server or the bandwidth that the server can handle. And if you're like running right there at the peak, then I would assume you probably get a crash
Most
at
likely.
that point. And then everyone who's on that server and every instance populated on that server probably crashes as well.
Yeah, that's my guess. And especially if you have a bunch of streamers playing, of course, all the people are going to want to go flood that streamer's world. I mean, you're already going to have a queue at that point. So then they're going to try and figure out where that person is and then flood all the instances. That's the only thing I can think of them without them having to add in extra servers, because it's probably a lot more that they would have to do.
So you would think they would cap the server, though.
Most servers are capped. That's what I'm saying. If you end up having that point, you end up putting a queue. So I don't know what happens to the queue after that either. You had a queue of almost 20,000 people, but that ended
Maybe
up
they
also
kept the
crashing
servers a
too.
little too high, or it's still eating up enough resources to where they're getting crashes.
It's possible. It's possible. That's the only reason I can think of.
I mean, I've never heard of a game with this level of demand, like I said, where they stopped selling it. Like, so I can only imagine how many people are trying to get to that game.
Or maybe they just didn't have enough people on board at the time and didn't expect this rush. I mean, it's been a consistent player base.
Too, yeah.
Like they have had no reason to increase their server capacity or personnel. I mean, they've had a consistent kind of base, and probably didn't expect the huge shoot up over 300% of people to hop on, almost 400%, I think it was. So
yeah, I guess you got a point. Yeah,
probably to take away from their developers and all them other people that have to do something about it. They're just like, yo, let's just stop. Let's put something in place, and then that way we can take the strain off of our people for now until we figure something out. Which, I mean, it didn't seem to hurt them. I mean, Final Fantasy 14 is still thriving anyway. So
yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, it all depends on how they built that server thing. There's a lot of new techniques, but I know it's an older game, so it could be that. I think it might have been just a good-hearted message in general, or kind of the casino thing of they tell people, hey, you have a gambling problem, please call this number, but you're free to kind of still play and spend all your like. I feel like that's what this message is. It's like, hey, a lot of people spend a lot of time here, live your life, enjoy other things, but don't forget you could do weddings and stuff in there for $40. I forgot what else you could do.
That's right, you could have weddings in there. I completely forgot about that.
So it's I feel like it's a little bit on that of just it sounds good, but it's
just
kind
of
of
cover you,
yeah,
in case someone does something crazy or whatever, and then you'd be like, well, we told people to take a step back. We don't know what else we can do.
Well, you all pretty much hit the points on the head, so no need for me to chime in on that. But do you all ever experience burnout of gaming, and what do you do if you experience it? What's something that you feel like kind of helps refresh the experience? If you suffer from it, if you feel like you don't suffer from it, then you can speak to that as well. So Terry does not experience burnout.
Burn harder. I mean, we all burned out on Destiny too.
I don't even but is that burnout or is that just boredom because of lack of content? Like we'll get to the point to where you're just grinding. Like all you're doing is just grinding for maybe a certain roll on a gun, or maybe to get a certain gun to drop in particular, or maybe even to get a special piece of armor. Like now we got the what is it? The Grasp of Erebus? What is the dungeon? The one where you get the
Yeah.
armor now that drops the extra artifact slot. So that's like kind of the armor to have now. So it's like you got a piece to get left, whether it's arms, legs, or whatever. Obviously, you would just keep grinding that dungeon out, trying to get that piece. So in a way, that's like sometimes it just gets boring. Or when you finally get all that stuff you want, you're like, well, I really don't have anything left to do. So it's just, I don't know if that considered burnout. You kind of just bored then. And like Terry said, you probably just play something else.
Yeah, no, I'm completely burned out from Grasp right now. Like Zoe and I, we would run that freaking back to back, no matter who it was. It was fun because I would also try to kill as many people as possible. I'm sure all three of you have been killed by me at some point in time in that game. That was my enjoyment for it, but I mean, right now I just don't want to touch the Destiny. I don't want to have anything to do with it, even though I know there's so much still for me to get. I just don't. I don't want to touch it right now. I tried to play Trials yesterday. I played 2 matches and immediately got off because it wasn't fun at the moment. So
Yeah, I usually switch genre games a lot. So I'll get tired of shooters and then play something else. Like I know I've been playing like a visual novel game and an RPG game lately more. So that's usually what I do is just switch that up, and that kind of helps.
yeah, like I'll get the itch to play like an FPS. I'm like, yo, that's how it was for me yesterday. I wanted to play an FPS. I mean, we were playing Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, RuneScape. Like I've been kind of switching off. I was like, you know, I kind of want to hop on. Unfortunately, Destiny 2, I'm still like, yeah, can't really do nothing with that one right now.
Yeah, I guess I actually suffer from burnout of gaming in general. Probably like once a year. So I try to just step away for maybe about 2 weeks, give or take. Sometimes longer, just depending on if nothing comes out. Well, right now I guess I play games here and there, but nothing really, really crazy. If it wasn't for Yugi, I probably wouldn't have really played a whole lot. But now thanks to this damn Yugi, I've been sitting up here grinding out card packs. But yeah, normally I do try to take about a week to 2 weeks where I just don't really touch gaming, whether it be mobile gaming or physical gaming, and just try to go out and do something or do little events with, people whom I don't talk to as much normally. I'm like really, really bad with keeping up with some people. So like I'm always like, yeah, I'll talk to you. But for instance, Bobby's been asking me to hang out for so long, and I have yet to go and hang out with Bobby. So
we are in a pandemic.
I just try to plan stuff.
It's a pandemic. It's
This
okay
is true.
to stay. You can stay inside.
this is true. But normally I do try to take just a break from gaming just to go do other things, and that also helps when I go back to gaming. It doesn't upset the powers that be, which is my wife, because she gets very upset when I pay video games more attention than her. But there was the big news that shook the gaming world, which was Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. We kind of already know. We've seen the memes and all that. My question is, Phil Spencer said, they talked to Sony. Everything's on the up and up. Didn't really specify what was said. He just said pretty much, hey, we talked Sony. Everything's on the up and up. Do you believe that up and up is time's up in 2024? Or is it more so, hey, no, we'll still let that stuff come over, and, we'll still take your monies from your player base? So which side do you think that conversation kind of landed on?
Honestly, it could be either one, because really either one would be a win. It just would kind of see like how Microsoft wanted to play it, but I would say it's probably more so 70% like, hey, after the existing contracts are up, you're not probably going to get these games on Sony. You're not going to get them on the PlayStation. Just due to the fact, like, one, they did spend that level of money on Activision or Activision Blizzard, whatever you want to call them. So if you're going to do that in the gaming space, then obviously you do want to compete. They probably do want to be the more purchased console because right now, as we all know, PlayStation outsells Xbox pretty much almost 2 to almost 3 to 1. So one way to be able to become the more purchased console is obviously get a lot of those used to be cross-platform multiplayer games only on your platform. Obviously on PC as well, but that's still pretty much Microsoft. Because and basically shift the dynamic of why people buy consoles. Like right now, all of us bought a PlayStation because we love the PlayStation exclusives, but that we pretty much buy the third party games on PlayStation as well because PlayStation already has the exclusive, so we might as well get those games there as well. But now it seems like Microsoft is trying to get more of the exclusives so that people will say, oh, we're probably still gonna buy a PlayStation because we like those single player exclusive games they have. But now we get so much more of these other games included on Game Pass. Xbox, they're probably trying to get that to be the first console you buy, so to speak. And then look at PlayStation like, okay, well, I can just grab a PlayStation 5, whenever Last of Us drops or whenever the new Horizon comes out or something like that. I don't need a PlayStation 5 to play my sports games, to play my Call of Duties, to play my Overwatches, to play all these other games, which I mean, for the most part, are all part of Game Pass now. So it seems like that's more their strategy to kind of shift that dynamic, maybe even take it back to the 360 days when the 360 had all of the games, except for it wasn't subscription service back then. And PlayStation 3 really struggled out of the box. Like they didn't have anything to play, which is what introduced me to DC Universe because they didn't have any games. But so I would say that once those existing contracts play out, you probably won't get those games on PlayStation anymore.
I guess I'll go because I'm different to that. I think you'll still get the games on PlayStation because it's revenue. The Call of Duty makes so much money on the store. Like, just to spread that across everything will be so beneficial to Microsoft. And then, of course, all the other games coming out, if they probably all will have stores. I feel like any game there's a way to spend more money in it now. So you're not going to stop that. At all. And I remember like console sales, I don't know if it's true anymore, but I remember like the 360 PS3, like console sales weren't like bulk of their money. It was like they even took a small hit on the console
Yeah.
sale
Yeah,
just
they
because
always
of
lose
software.
money on the consoles. They make
So
money on the
like
software.
I don't think they really care if people are buying it. It's just now they hold the license of all that income's coming to them now. I think you're going to see more, obviously Game Pass because they're first party now, I'm pretty sure. So that means they'll be free there. So that's going to be a draw to pull people there and probably make people buy more things at the store because then it's like, oh, Call of Duty, I didn't even pay for this. I like this skin and I've been playing it. I can put in $20 and buy. So
Yep.
you'll probably get some more people doing that. And they'll probably do the famous console exclusives now. It'll be like the Call of Duty on Microsoft has like maybe these maps or something else. I think that's what's going to be the big or the special store. They probably have
Or
special
do
items.
time exclusives to where
Yeah,
they
that's
don't
what
drop on PlayStation at the same time. Like you wait
yeah.
like 4 or 5 months.
And I can see certain items for sale that's just on Microsoft. Like that would even be enough. Like they have a cool samurai thing, and then you have the equivalent of the Pop Chase one is on Microsoft, the real cool one that's like all gold. So I could see that too. So I don't think they're going to do that because the PlayStation's there. That would still cut off a money flow from them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're gonna end up keeping at least something. They might just rewrite some of those contracts, or I guess not rewrite, but once they're out, they'll probably be like, okay, well, this is what you previously had. Yeah, we're gonna take a little bit more than that because I mean, there are developer, there are publisher, whatever. So they might try to rewrite something and maybe try to get some more money out of it, so that Sony doesn't get a cut, or at least not as big a cut as before. But I don't think they're just gonna rewrite them out. I know there's been rumors of them talking about once contracts are up, they're gonna be like, yeah, Sony might not have that game. Which, I mean, it is a possibility, but I don't think they're gonna put all that money that they just lost on the table and then just be like, okay, well, you know what? We're not gonna care about the PlayStation base. We'll just hope the Xbox base will carry us. Which, I mean, it's possible, but if they put a bunch of their games on Game Pass, I don't know.
I mean, if you bring all those games over to Game Pass, which they're going to be, every developer Xbox or Microsoft has bought, their games are day one Game Pass. So it's really no reason to believe Call of Duty and all those things won't be going forward. But it's like that's how you will bring the people over. Now, I do believe that they definitely could keep it on PlayStation, but in a way, what they want to do is tie people to Game Pass. Like, I don't think they're really worried about sales of games as well as getting subscribers to Game Pass, because their goal is 50 million subscribers on Game Pass. Right now, they're at like 20 some million. I mean, $15 a month, you can do the math. Like,
well, that's why I brought up the store, because that's the constant income. I think they're
and
not
that's what I mean.
Like,
I feel like they always know PlayStation is going to be there, but if you bring over those type of games that usually is cross-platform and you make them exclusive, especially a lot of those multiplayer games where people play with friends, like, they know the PlayStation will be there, but they just want to be the number one console, having the bigger user base, because that's going to bring people into Game Pass. Whereas if you keep the games on PlayStation, you're not going to move people to Game Pass as easily, because they like, well, I already have a PlayStation. Their game's still coming out on PlayStation. I still don't need an Xbox. But if you take it and put it just on Xbox, then it's easier to get them over, even for people who may not be, so akin to liking Game Pass. Is sort of like forcing their hand. It's like, well, I want to play these games, so I'm going to get an Xbox. And if I have an Xbox, I'm damn sure not going to pay $70 per game when I could just get Game Pass and get them day one. So,
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see exactly what Sony's retaliation is to, well, I guess maybe not retaliation, but what they do to this, basically.
They're supposed to have a Game Pass. They've already said that they're going to announce it, but at the end of the day, it's like, they better announce something quick, because Microsoft's trying to buy everybody.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, are they is Sony now gonna start trying to get a lot more developers? I mean, Microsoft started. I mean, when they first started this, they were like going after every single indie company they could. That was like 4 or 5 years ago, and everybody's like, they're just indie companies. They're nothing crazy. Then 2 years later, they got Bethesda, and it's like, well, okay, maybe they're kind of doing something in 2 years again.
The one crazy part though was like when you looked at all the companies under Activision Blizzard. Like, obviously they got the company now. They got Crash Bandicoot. They got Spyro. Like, they got all these games. They got Ninja Theory. They got like all these games that was under there. And you look like how many games we were getting robbed of because Activision pretty much made all those studios just Call of Duty support, and they wouldn't let them make games. And Microsoft has already said that that will not be the case anymore. Like, there won't be Call of Duties every year. Like, Activision, you're not just going to make Call of Duty. Like, all these companies, you're going to get to make games again. So that should be pretty good. I didn't realize like they did that to those companies. I didn't think Call of Duty needed that much.
Oh, that's how much money.
Apparently they needed like 40 fucking studios to be just Call of Duty support. Call of Duty support. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, like Vicarious Visions, I believe, is also underneath Activision. They're the ones that helped put Destiny on PC. Like, they have a lot of small companies that help out with putting games that are just strictly to PC. But most of their people, I mean, you got a 3-year rotation of every single company to force them to make a game within 3 years. It's like kind of crazy. I mean, before it used to be 2 years. So, I mean, just imagine how
Activision said you're getting Call of Duty every year. So it's like,
oh yeah, then they changed it. Yeah,
Call of Duty.
Yeah, but there's always a different company that worked it though. You know, you had Infinity Ward doing it 1 year, then you had a Treyarch doing it the next, and it's back to Infinity Ward. So it was like, that was one every year by a company every 2 years, basically. So now it's like they gave them a little bit of time. They brought in Sledgehammer, Raven, and that ended up being 3 years. But I mean, like, for them to turn out a game every 2 years, basically, that
grinding, whipping, got that whip.
All right, we put out our first game. All right, what's the next one? Let's go. It's time to start on the next one. Like, that's kind of crazy.
Somebody probably drop dead at the computer and they just literally just sit you on top of him. Get to work. We'll move him out of there later.
You know, I wouldn't put it past us by their current allegations and everything coming out about them right now. So it's probably what happened.
Do you all feel like in a year's time, Game Pass price is going to go up? Like, when do you think it happens? If you got Bethesda, you got Activision Blizzard now, when does that price go up?
That's a good point. I honestly don't know because they've purchased, like Terry said, I mean, they've purchased so many companies that we haven't gotten a price increase yet. And I feel like there won't be a price increase because Sony has not announced anything yet. And it's probably going to go the Netflix route to where when Netflix became the dominant player in there, you started slowly seeing price increases on the service. So I don't see them doing a price increase before any of that stuff start to happen, especially because I mean, right now they don't have those games on Game Pass because the acquisition actually hasn't happened. I don't think it's supposed to go through to like summer of next year or something.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, they're not going to be on. Probably won't be on Game Pass until then, unless they work something behind the scenes. But I wouldn't be shocked if it did. I mean, it's $15 a month now if you get Game Pass Ultimate, which includes Xbox Live Gold and obviously Game Pass. But I could see it going maybe to $20 a month. But again, it would all consist on what Sony drops as well, because they've always been neck and neck. Like PlayStation Plus is $60, Xbox Live Gold just happened to be $60. So whatever PlayStation probably purchased but put theirs at, they're probably going to stay right there, or if not, like really, really close.
I think it's just going to do the normal pattern. Just you'll see a slow increase. I don't have a timeline, but just you'll see the email that's like, oh, we're going to move it to like $16.99 or $17.99.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked, but it's weird because the online never really crept up like that. Like we've been paying $60 a year for PlayStation Plus since what, PS3?
Yeah.
They've never adjusted it. We've been paying $60 a year for Xbox Live since the Xbox, what, the first Xbox?
No, I think
it's $60.
I think it's 360 was only 60.
I know the 360 was 60. I couldn't remember if they what the charge was for the OG Xbox. I know the 360
was one at first.
It could have been like the PS2 where it just kind of ran through each individual game.
Yeah.
You know, like there wasn't an actual online service, so to speak, but it was just like you played online with that individual game. So yeah, we haven't got price increases there, but yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. Like Roger said,
they're set up for it because cloud gaming is still beta. So I mean, if
their cloud gaming is trash. So,
but if it ever goes official, which I would hope it wasn't as bad as it is, that seems like a great price increase moment. Like we're out of beta, you actually get a good cloud service. We're going to increase the price.
Yeah. They're a long way away from a good cloud service. Xbox is like literally just one step up from PlayStation now and Nintendo Cloud Gaming. If you guys didn't know that, Nintendo also does cloud gaming.
Yeah, I was wondering if Terry tried Kingdom Hearts on the Switch yet.
Oh, it's worse than PlayStation now. Somehow Japan hates the internet. What is with Japan and the internet? They hate it so much. Like, well, PlayStation come a long ways, but we all remember the PS3 interface of internet and those stupid messages and the one-on-one private chats you can only do with no gaming.
Yeah,
horrible.
I didn't know PS3. I thought the PS3 chat was the 360.
It was.
That's what it became. Yeah, we all got on the 360 to talk.
I remember those days. It was great times.
What's Overwatch currently ran through? Like Overwatch League. Is it on PC? Is that what it primarily runs?
It's always PC. Mm-hmm. I doubt they'll remove it from PC. I mean, it just runs. It's so much. If they ran that on console, I think
I didn't even think about that.
I don't even think that like you said they do the PC. But if they got, well, obviously they got them unless something happens. But you also have that too, like all the esports leagues. Like you're gonna have a ton of like Xbox marketing there exclusively.
Yeah, well, like the convention, the BlizzCon.
Yeah, like BlizzCon. So you have a lot of that like marketing just pushing, you know, pretty much all the big streamers who play those games, you only gonna be able to play them on either PC or Xbox. So, I mean, in a way, you also get to kind of reach out to the younger community, like the kids, and poison their minds, where it's like Xbox or PC is the place to play, you know, these games. So I'm sure they have like a long-term approach of poisoning the young minds to influence them away from, you know, Sony or whatever, kind of like how Genesis did with Nintendo and made Nintendo for kids, and Genesis was for, you know, teenagers and adults who want hardcore cutting edge games. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that something like that.
I'm curious to know what's going to happen with Call of Duty League. If they're going to start moving them to either PC or Xboxes.
What are they on now?
Sony, PlayStation.
Really? Wow.
Mhm.
I'm surprised it wasn't all PC
Yeah,
stuff.
Sony, well, at least with fighting games, Sony's always had that grapple holder. If you were playing Tekken, Street Fighter, whatever fighting game it was at any tournament, always hosted on
Always Sony.
PlayStation for whatever reason.
For
So
what?
I wondered if now this is going to be Xbox time to make that transition with Overwatch Leagues, but I figured Overwatch League would be the one to do it with as.
I think
I
if
guess
they end
first
up,
person
I haven't
shooters are
seen
always
crazier.
PC because they like
Yeah.
want the
Yeah,
frames.
I've always
you know.
associated them with that. Yeah.
it'll be
That is
interesting.
weird.
But I
Nobody
don't know
plays
how
fighting games
Overwatch
at like really high
works.
frame rates. Like nobody's like, I need 180 FPS on my Street Fighter 4.
Nah,
Are those even on PC?
looks weird.
That's what I'm about
Is
to
it?
say. I
Street
don't.
Fighter,
I know
you can get
Tekken
you
isn't.
can get a modded version. It's something
Okay.
called Parsec, but people run like modded games through there. Really, just different skins. So
Okay.
you got
Is-
Ryu look like the president. And
Ah,
yeah, that's pretty much what they do with those things. Or
Is
how
Street
people
Fighter-
modded Cyclops in the Ultimate Marvel 3.
Because is it Fortnite? I guess they just probably use PCs because you can play with controller and all. I don't know if they have individual consoles or not.
Fortnite is all PC.
Yeah, but I mean, you hook up any controller.
Mm-hmm.
Within reason, yes. You can't just hook up any.
Well,
yes, you can.
You
I
have
was
to
playing with
take
Nintendo
whatever.
controller the other day.
You have to
My
use.
builds were
wait,
amazing.
well, if you're talking about just like normal, then yes. But if you're talking about
Yeah,
like
that's what I meant.
at a tournament, then no.
Oh, you talking about because they kind of
They check everything.
don't want you cheating.
Mhm.
Don't want you coming there with your scuff controller.
well, I
No,
mean, I was
they
just
wouldn't
thinking,
care about that. They just wouldn't let you would have to check everything first. You would have to run it through whatever system that they have and stuff like that. But normally it's just a normal controller.
I don't know what they did to my controller when I took it to the one tournament, but they just had me plug a USB in to a off-site PC. So when you just checked in, I just plugged it in, and I guess it said if it was good or not. I never got to see his screen. There could have been nothing back there the whole time. It could have just been like, "All right, you're good." But yeah, that's what they did. It went pretty seamlessly. Like it only took me like 10 seconds. He was like, "What controller you using?" I was like, "This one." He's like, "Let me see. Plug it in for me." Boom. All right, you're good. And then I walked into the venue. So I was like, I don't know what's on that screen back there, but I imagine it's not that bad.
They was paying some guy like $8 an hour. He was like just behind the PC. Controller accepted. And then every once in a while he just said controller declined. Like, what? My controller's good. Sorry, the PC won't take it. I don't do this, man. It's up to the PC.
Oh, so anyone have any closing thoughts or remarks about Microsoft's big buy?
I'm just really interested in
I
what
just had
Sony's
this in the
going to do.
bank. Straight cash.
I mean, they did that before,
How
though.
does
They
what
did
do
that
that?
because you're Microsoft. They make
I guess so.
what was it?
It's
They
like
make
straight
like
cash acquisition is like
I think their
getting
net
69
profit
billion
every
straight cash.
year was like 50 or 60 billion dollars, like after everything. Like that's just what they have in their pocket. So I mean, to them, what is 60 some billion dollars? I mean, then you think about it, like this is going to make them money too. So probably like, oh, we'll recoup that purchase in like 3 years, 5 years generously. And then after that, it's just stupid amounts of money. So I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm just really interested to see what Sony's going to do because I mean, Sony always is that way. Like for whatever reason, they remind me a lot of Apple. Do finally get there, they usually give you quality stuff. Like we talked about the PS3 online interface, god awful. Like it was nowhere near what the 360 was from like an experience standpoint. But when we finally got the PS4, like you could tell they really turned it around and pretty much gave us everything we were asking for on the PS3. That they kind of strung us along and was like, yeah, party chat's coming. Party chat's coming. And they finally was like, look, man, we didn't build the PS3 for party chat. It can't, but it'll be there on PS4. And now the PS5, I mean, it's an amazing experience. It's a lot of like social, like I guess, gaming stuff built into it, where you can find groups, you can get hints. It's so much more like, I guess, it's built almost like a social media platform, you know. So they've come a long way. We're not going to talk about Nintendo. Nintendo refuses that. But so I'm
like the
interested
friend
to see
code?
what they do. Oh God, this stupid friend code. Nintendo is the worst. But yeah, I'm interested to see what they're going to do. I think their Game Pass or their idea of what their subscription service will probably be quite good once it does come out.
They'd be wondering if it's worth the price with their single player games. That's the
Yeah. I mean, they better watch out. Microsoft might come tapping at their door. Like, heard you guys need a subscription service. Game Pass loves PlayStation. Maybe that's how y'all get the games, Keith. You have to have a little app for Xbox Game Pass on your PlayStation. And then they'll make you run it through Edge browser just to really piss you off. Don't play these games, play them through Edge, bitch.
Oh, Terry, Roger, nothing.
No, I think I'm good.
Look at those PC socialites.
Yeah.
Well, that gets us to our final unnamed segment. Maybe that's just what we call it from here out, the unnamed segment. But everyone will recommend a game to you all to try out. Hopefully, it's out currently. Thank God Arceus is out, because Terry would have recommended a game they couldn't get their hands on yet.
I'm not gonna say a word.
Terry,
I
just
have
go
a
first,
video.
you
I have a
Gary.
video. No, I'm not gonna say anything because I have a video coming out for this. Yes, I'm putting out a video in
Good God.
2 years.
The wait is over.
I will
The
not
wait is
say a
over,
word. You will pass by me. And you will accept it.
Watch this
Well,
video
the
be
game
like
I'll
3 minutes
recommend-
long.
Game I recommend is called Warm Snow. Weird ass name, but it's a roguelike game. So think of Hades. Really, really good. It's not a copy and paste. So anyone who might think it's, the ripoff of Hades, it's not. It's really, really fun. Very, very fast paced. You will die, but it's very, very rewarding, especially when you start getting stuff to work in tandem. So I highly recommend Warm Snow. It's on Steam. It's only on PC. Hopefully they'll port it over to console. Yeah. A PC game. Yeah, you heard right, Terry.
Wow. Keith's playing PC.
That explains a lot now. Why I see him on Steam now.
Warm Snow. Yeah. I've been there.
Mm.
Who's next?
Do I give a game outside of Pokemon? I could do Yu-Gi-Oh. That is free. It just came out.
Yeah, it's
And
free.
you don't have to do anything but download it on your Switch, your Xbox, PlayStation, Steam. It's all free. There you go.
Excuse me.
Yeah, just go
ahead,
download
Terry.
Yu-Gi-Oh. I got Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah.
Oh, you did. You get
Yeah,
it. Oh, wow.
Keith knows all about Yu-Gi-Oh. I think I'm gonna have to record a game now and just put up some music.
I guess the game I'll recommend, game I've been playing, is Rainbow Six Extraction. So it's pretty fun. If you happen to have Xbox or you have a PC, Game Pass, so you don't have to buy it if you don't want to buy it. But it is a good game. It does start off a little difficult. At least it started off difficult for me because, unlike Roger, I did not play Siege.
Yep.
So I didn't really have any background with it, and I haven't played a Rainbow Six game since Rainbow Six Vegas on PS3. So I was kind of unfamiliar with the gameplay mechanics of it, and of really like what hurt you. Like me and Terry did some mysterious dying many times of not knowing what killed us. But once you do start to learn the mechanics and learn like what they want you to do, it actually becomes really fun. Just watch out for those quick matches when you get paired with randoms. That can be a headache at times, depending on who you get, but it's definitely worth a play. Like I said, especially if you happen to have Game Pass. But if not, even if you have it on PlayStation or I guess wherever else it could be, you can get a 14-day like full game trial. So that's cool. I mean, it gives you at least 2 weeks to figure out if you actually like the game. Just like a code you have to put in or something. So Rainbow Six, I was about to say Rainbow Six Vegas. Rainbow Six Extraction. Give it a try.
You can recommend Vegas too.
Yeah, go back and get Rainbow Six Vegas on the PS3 and Xbox 360. I think it was Xbox 360 too.
I think I got it on the PC. I got it somewhere again. I'll have to look to see where that was.
I just know we had it on PS3. It was pretty fun.
I didn't get a chance to play the game I wanted to try. It's Death's Door, but Keith, you should probably try that. It's like Hades, but the game I would actually pick is probably Rainbow Six Extraction as well. That's the only game I've been playing. I like it because it does force co-op a lot more. You need a functional team to gain this point. Quick play. You can have a good team, or you can have just a horrible experience. It falls apart pretty quickly.
Or you can just be like me, run in with a loud shotgun and blame Roger. It's a perfect.
So basically, when you get paired up with Terry's, that's usually where it goes south pretty quickly.
I hold my own.
But so I like that concept. The co-op's there. It is $40, I think, everywhere. I'm still a little questionable on that. I think it's your audience of the game. I don't mind the slower pace of it because, like Game said, I played Siege, so I'm kind of used to the creeping around. Seems like you have to do that more on the higher difficulties from what I played.
Challenge accepted.
But I think overall it's fun. You get different operators, different powers to upgrade. I think it'll keep you busy. Just you need a group. If you plan on buying it solo, I don't think you're going to like the game.
Yeah, probably not. Also, the game is only co-op. So unlike Siege, where Siege was only PvP, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Extraction's only co-op. There's no player versus player. So make sure you are aware of that before you buy it.
There can be.
Yeah. If you get paired with Terry, you'll think he's an adversary. So.
There have been a lot of times where the little exploding people have appeared next to Gaines from Roger.
Yeah, because someone distracted all the nests and enraged them, and then goes down.
That's happened once, only once.
All right, that's going to do it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you hit that subscription button and notification button to check out when Terry posts that Pokemon video, the 2-minute and 59-second one. All right.
Have you know it's 9 minutes.
But with that being said, 9 minutes. All right. Well, be on the lookout for that video coming soon on the rest of the content that we'll post. As usual, peace, be easy, be blessed.
Peace.